Workout, can it make you fit? Can you lose weight just only with the workout? You are right now working out 45 minutes, 1 hour every single day, but still you're finding it too difficult for you to lose weight. So we will be discussing about this and in a very scientific, simple terminology so that you understand it and you can start doing the changes in your lifestyle. So my name is Ravitej. If you do not know me, hi, my name is Ravitej and I'm a certified fitness trainer from ACE. ACE is American Council on Exercise, and I've been training individually as well as in a group from a long time. So in today's video, we'll be discussing about what are the factors which will be important for losing weight, and just only workout, can it really help you to lose weight? Okay, so let's first of all go with the science of weight loss. So science of weight loss is pretty very simple. Each one of you can understand it in a layman language. It is the calorie intake minus calorie expenditure. If it is positive, what it is positive is calorie intake is more than the calorie expenditure, then you will gain weight. If it is negative, calorie intake is lesser than the calorie expenditure, then you will lose weight. If calorie intake is equal to calorie expenditure, then you will maintain the weight. You understand? So the calorie intake greater than the calorie expenditure, gain weight. Calorie expenditure lesser than calorie intake lesser than the calorie expenditure, it's going to be losing weight, and both of it together equal to each other, that is calorie intake equal to calorie expenditure, you will maintain your weight. Okay, so this is the science behind weight loss. Now, let's go in little more depth and understand what are the factors which will be defining or determining calorie intake and which will be determining the calorie expenditure. So, if you are just joined into today's live or seeing the recording of this, then you write in the comment box ready to learn. Okay, I want you to be in a learning state of mind so that you understand it and you implement. So I always try to uh, follow a simple triangle. Okay, this is called as golden triangle of learning. That is, learn, do, and teach. Okay, so whatever I have teaching you right now, I have first learned it, I have done it, and then I'm teaching you. So always whenever you are learning it, it's not about you just learning it. You next have to do it, and next you need to teach it to somebody so that you become better at it. Okay, so with that, let us go with the factors determine the calorie intake. Now, what is calorie intake? It's the food, whatever you're intaking, that's where your calories will come. That might be your food, that might be your beverages, anything which you are eating, which you're consuming, is going to have certain calories into it. That is the most important aspect of calorie intake. Now, if you need to understand that, if you need to lose weight, then your calorie intake has to be lesser than your calorie expenditure. So there are two things, left hand side and the right hand side. So the left hand side, what you need to do is you need to reduce your calorie intake. Yeah. So right now, according to your height, weight, all this aspect, there is a term or there is a number which you will be getting it. That's called as total daily energy expenditure. Okay. This is the total expenditure which your body does. That comes into calorie expenditure. Okay. But for the calorie intake, it's basically the food, whatever you're eating, that is starting once you woke up till the time you sleep, what food you are intaking, that's where you need to calculate it. So which are the ways to calculate? You can just have any app, and that might be a Healthify Me, that might be your MyFitnessPal, or any of the apps. You can download it in your mobile free of cost and start tracking everything. Let's take example. Morning you are having poha. Okay, today morning after the session, 9 o'clock, you're having your breakfast. You are having poha, or you are having upma. You are having anything in the world, and all these options will be there in that app. What you need to go is go to breakfast and add item there. Add item called poha. Okay, and it will ask you how many grams it is, how much bowls it is, katori it is, just whatever measurement you have taken. So I usually quantify my food. So what is quantification is, we just don't say katori. So let me give you example. Let us suppose I have here a glass, okay, and if I say have one glass of some beverage, okay, or one glass of rice, you have it. My my glass is this much, your glass might be this much, or this might be this much. So it's not the right measure. But if I say you 100 grams of rice you need to have, then is it be specific? Yes. 100 grams for me, for you, for anybody else, it will be the same, isn't it? Because it is quantifiable. But one glass or one katori is not quantifiable because katori size matters. Make sense? So what you need to do is make sure that your katori size, or else your you don't depend on that, and you depend on the quantification. Okay, I'll in the description also, I'll be putting the link to a weighing scale, okay, where you can start weighing your food. So these are not the normal weighing machine of a human being. It is in a kitchen. So usually in any bakery, you need to measure items for cooking a cake or something like that. Same way, you need to ensure that every single day you are having the right amount of protein, carbohydrates, fats, everything in a quantified measure, so that you are not having too much or having too little. You need to make sure you hit to your goals. Okay, everybody to some extent they understand they need to have proper protein, proper carbohydrates, fats, all these things, but they don't measure their food. So it's always trial and error. Instead, what you need to do is start measuring your food, start quantifying, and start hitting your right goals so that you can lose your weight properly without much of struggle. Okay, so that is your calorie intake. How it happens? Through food. And what's the next thing you need to do? You need to measure your food through a weighing scale. Okay, so if you're seeing this on YouTube or Facebook, maybe after the session is over, I'll be putting in the description that what are the links you can refer to. Next one is the calorie factors affecting the calorie expenditure. There are total of three factors which it will be affecting. So the first one here is called as the exercise activity thermogenesis. It's called as EAT, exercise thermogenesis, activity thermogenesis. Okay, what it means is your standard structured workouts. So that is you every day waking up doing some kind of workout. That might be yoga, that might be strength training, that can be Zumba, that can be any kind of workout. Okay, so I've seen every single day I conduct group trainings with the strength and training module. So I've been trained in that, and I've been training for many years now to the to my clients. So you can have any form of training, but make sure it is structured in a way. So I always do training for 5 days and 2 days of rest time. So make sure you are having such kind of thing. Don't overtrain. Don't do 7 days of training. That is not needed. Have at least a five days, max 6 days, but not more than that. Okay. Next one is called as NEAT. NEAT is not non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis refers to any activity, physical activity you're doing apart from a structured workout. So you climbing the stairs, you going for just a walk, you cleaning your room, you doing any other activity than a structured workout, that is called as physical activity, is called as the NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay, now that's another factor to the calories expenditure. Then the next factor here which will be contributing for the calorie expenditure is the TEF. TEF. TEF means thermic effect of food. Okay, so whenever you are having food, to digest the food and convert into energy, then you require something called as thermic effect of food. Okay, it will be different for each food item or each food type. Means for a protein it will be different, for a carbohydrate it will be different, for a fat it will be different. So for protein, this is the highest thermic effect of food. So it requires more energy to burn protein into energy, to convert protein into energy. Okay, protein is subdivided into amino acids. From amino acids, if it has to convert it into energy, then it requires certain calories or certain energy to convert it. So that is what is the thermic effect of food. So for protein, it's around 15 to 30% of the overall calories what you're consuming. For carbohydrates, it's hardly 2 to 5 percentage of the entire calories you are having. Only to 2 to 5 percentage is what it requires to burn that food. Okay, and for fats, it's very less. It is only, I think, 1 to 2 percentage of the overall calories what you're having. That much it's required to convert it into energy. But as you know, the fat is very stubborn, so it is more stored. It doesn't give energy. So always I give this energy analogy that protein, carbohydrates, and fats, these are like let's take as a energy reservoir. Okay, so if you need energy, the first source to give you energy is carbohydrate. It will be like the helping friend of yours. So never ever avoid carbohydrate and go like no carbs diet or anything like that. Then after that you will not have any energy at all. So I recommend to go on a balanced diet. So the proportion of your protein, carbohydrates, and fat should be like this. According to me, it should be 25 percentage of protein you need to have, and around 35 percentage of carbohydrate you need to have, and around 40 percentage of fat you need to have in your daily diet. Okay, so if you take an example, you are having, let us suppose, around 1500 calories or 2000 calories. Just give an example, you don't have to follow that diet because your requirement might be different. That depends upon your height, weight, age. These three factors, it will be defining that. Okay, so I'll also be giving at the end of this session a ebook where you can learn all this, and you can identify your own TDE. You can identify what proportions you know, how can you calculate all these things. I'll be giving you the ebook on that. Okay, so thermic effect of food, it will be different from protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So protein will require more of energy to burn and convert into energy. Protein to energy, it has to require more energy to do it. Okay, so these are the factors which will be defining the calorie expenditure. That's your exercise, that's your activities apart from your workout. Okay, and that's your nutrition. Now understand is we understood two things. For a weight loss to happen, the calorie intake has to be lesser. So if you are having overeating, let us suppose your TD, total daily energy expenditure, comes to be around 2000 example. Then you need to have, for losing weight, you need to have around 200 calories lesser than your TDE. But if you are having like 500 calories or 1000 calories lesser, it's not sustainable. If you're going on only sprouts diet or fruit diet or detox diet or any fruit diet, then it's not sustainable because you'll be getting too little calories, and within no time, within a week or 10 days or 15 days, you'll become too craving to the food and you'll be overeating and it will be huge. And that habit of yours, people lose 10 kgs and they gain back 15 kgs. Why? Because they are too much under nutrition or malnutrition here. That's the reason they go on to a binge eating and all the things. So you don't have to do that mistake. Instead, go with only 200 calories lesser than your TDE so that it's sustainable and you can maintain it for a long time. Okay, you can rest of your life if you can maintain a lifestyle and a food habit and a diet. Is it a good idea? So that's what I'm talking about, having a balanced diet so that in the next 6 months you can target about losing 15 kgs. That's very much doable. But if you're thinking about 1 month I need to lose 10 kgs, boss, don't follow that kind of diets which are on the YouTube, which you're just seeing some influencer who is doing it, or some guy who read it somewhere who is doing it and never followed it himself,